Well, hi everybody at West Street Christian Fellowship. My name is Andrew Marriott.
And my name is Margaret Marriott. For those of you that didn't meet us before we came here to live in New Zealand 14 years ago now, it seems incredible that so much time has already elapsed. We left Wisterston in July of 2006. We now live on the North Shore of Auckland, so we have to go over the bridge. And we live in a place called Browns Bay, which is just a small bay, one of just many bays around this area. The church we attend is, they call it a community church, and there's around 500 that attend that church. When we first came to New Zealand, we brought our son Ben with us, and he was 17 at the time, and it's hard to believe that he is now 31 years of age, but there you go, time really goes so quickly. We really thank God that after many years of hard work and experience, Ben has now moved into a job that really seems to fit him well as a digital marketing project manager. And we really do thank God that he opened doors for Ben. He did a lot of work where he wasn't paid very much, but it was the only way he could break into this industry without having all the qualifications that were needed. We wish that we could be with you. We had planned to be in the UK at this time, but then COVID came and it's just spoiled plans of so many people. So unfortunately we can't be there until things alter, and no one seems to know when that will be. Although I have to say, even though we've been in lockdown and had lots of restrictions, just like I know you have, although I think some of our restrictions were a lot more severe, we're hoping that soon the level will drop even more and that we'll be able to meet together in hundreds. I mean, we still won't be able to meet in our church, but other churches, other smaller churches, can begin to meet again. Perhaps you want to give an update on your dad?
Thank you everybody for all your prayers for my dad. As you know, he was taken into hospital with a very serious ruptured aneurysm and other complications that set in at the time, and it was a very, very distressing time for us then. But we praise God that he is recovering well and regaining his strength. And although life will probably not be the same for him from now on, we're so grateful the Lord still has his hand upon my dad and also my mum, who my sister is caring for at the moment. So thank you once again for all your prayers for them.
Yeah, also my mum at the pretty much the same time was taken into hospital twice with we're not sure, but trouble with her heart anyway. I think if she was younger, she's 89, they would, and we didn't have COVID, they would probably be seriously thinking about a pacemaker. But at the moment that doesn't seem possible, so she's just on medication. But she does seem to be doing better than she was, so I really thank God for that. Since we arrived in New Zealand, God has opened doors for us to be involved in ministries, not just through Motivate, but in our church and other areas. And I ended up heading up, we decided to call the women's group Women of Worth, WOW, and that's our ladies group. So what I've done is I have women come and speak to our women on different subjects that we wouldn't be discussing or hearing in any other way, really. And this has proved really popular. And so we've had a good number of women come into these meetings, for which we really thank God for. Andrew and I are also on the prayer team at church. So on Sundays after the service, we have a room set aside where we can pray for people who are wanting prayer, and that's been really good too.
Yeah, so God has really opened up some amazing opportunities for us to minister here, and Margaret's shared about the things that she and we are involved with. In addition to that, we're also involved in the church's missions team, and we're grateful for the fact that West Street also has a missions team, and we're so thankful that you guys stay in touch with us, and we know you're praying for us, so thank you so much for that. It's been an honour over these last few years to be involved with kicking off Pacific to Nations, mobilising Pacific Island people to go to the nations of the world. As chairman of Missions Interlink, which is the national body for missions in New Zealand, and also more recently and closer to home, the 316 ministry, which we've helped to establish here in the North Shore of Auckland, reaching out to homeless people and people who may have drug addiction issues and alcohol issues and so on.
And mental health. A lot of people have got mental health here.
Yeah.
Yeah, issues, yeah.
So reaching out to people with all of those kind of issues with community dinners, and it's an honour for us to be able to serve in that ministry on a very local level as well. God's also brought us into relationship with some amazing Samoan leaders, mostly within the Samoan AOG churches here in New Zealand. And it's wonderful to have that strong relationship with their churches from a missions perspective, but also on a very relational level as well. I'm also involved, as many of you will know, with the Christian Motorcyclists Association of New Zealand. I ride with them, and we do outreach around the area on our rides that we do. But also we have a relationship with CMA globally through our US office, through which we're able to provide currently around about 400 motorbikes and then other forms of transport for pastors and evangelists around the world. From our own office alone, we've been able to process in the last 2 months or so about 42 or 43 motorbikes for pastors and evangelists in places like Bangladesh, Nepal, Democratic Republic of Congo, in the Philippines, and also in Tonga. And so, as you know, the reach of our organisation here from New Zealand and Australia is very broad across the Asia-Pacific region. But much of our current focus is in places like Tonga, Vanuatu, the Philippines, and also in Malawi. We should have been in Malawi in July, but of course the flights had to be cancelled. But we're still able to provide funding for relief in Malawi through Pastor Moses, who's our main contact there, and also into places like Vanuatu, which suffered through the worst cyclone on record in the Pacific region that hit just last year, or in fact earlier this year. Cyclone Harold caused major devastation across Vanuatu, and just this last week we were able to send more funds to get the sawmill projects running in order to process fallen timber for reconstruction on the island of Santo. And more recently, and in fact in this coming weekend, we're launching a 30-day challenge to establish a new radio station building in Tonga, because the current building is in such a poor state that we have to replace it with container-based building facilities to survive future cyclones. So all of that stuff you can see on our website and Facebook page. We'd love you to join us there and follow what we're doing here in the region. But we want to thank you at West Street for being a part of the ministry that God has called us to here in New Zealand and across the Asia-Pacific region.
So thank you, West Street, for your prayers and your support over these years. We are so grateful to you. Again, we're just sorry that we can't be there physically with you. We were so looking forward to meeting Graham and his wife, the new pastor, and old friends and people that we've never even met before who now go to the church. But hopefully, God willing, one day we will be able to come and meet with you.
Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody at West Street Christian Fellowship, for all your love, your prayers and your support, and we do look forward to seeing you again soon. In the meantime, we always love to hear from our friends at West Street, so please do feel free to write or contact us on Facebook, and we can stay in touch that way. Until then, thank you so much for your prayers, as we are also praying for you. God bless.
God bless. Bye.
Bye.